Think about how many people have your personal contact information, your financial information, and all the places that you have it stored. Go ahead, think about it for a moment. It's a little bit shocking and it's a little bit scary at the same time, isn't it? So after watching this video, you'll know 5 signs to watch for if you're a victim of identity theft and what you can do about it. My name is Andrew Finney, your real estate geek. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is below. If you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now, like this video, and tap the bell icon to get notified of the next one. Thank you. Okay team, let's take a closer look at this. It might seem impossible to lock down all your information from the banks, the creditors, credit card companies, schools, where have you, that have your financial information and personal information on file and on record. Yet with everything that could go wrong, there's also good news. And the good news is there's things that you can watch for to know if you're a victim of identity theft. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first one is too many empty mailboxes. Those annoying little adverts that you get in the mail all the time and you're wondering how many jungles, how many forests were cut down to make those adverts, they're actually kind of a good sign, especially if they're offering you credit, they're trying to get your business or something like that. There can be a good sign that everything is okay. Now, when that stuff stops and you're going to your mailbox and you're wondering what gives, there's nothing in here, and I'm used to seeing these beautiful, colorful advertisements. Yeah, I generally just put them in the recycle bin, but at the same time, I kind of like seeing them sometimes. It's like a rainbow in my mailbox, right? When they stop appearing and that rainbow has disappeared, you need to take notice and start going into proactive action, especially if you have not heard from one of your creditors in like a month. If that's the case, then you need to reach out to them, go online, however you have that set up, and double check to make sure that everything's okay. On another note, if you don't have paperless billing set up, you might want to consider it for 2 reasons. One, it's a good thing to do for the earth so we can all continue enjoying breathing, kind of an important thing. The second reason is because it starts limiting the amount of personal information that's going into a physical realm, being your mailbox, and the opportunity of it getting picked off, getting dropped, getting lost, what have you, somebody sniping it off. Now, if for some reason you do get that kind of information delivered to your mailbox, once you're done with it, please get in the habit of shredding it, burning it, or doing something with it other than throwing it away as a whole piece that could be piecemealed back together like a puzzle. Now, the second thing that happens is you're getting calls and letters from lenders you don't know. If you got a bill for a Rolls Royce recently and you're wondering, I don't have a Rolls Royce and I didn't know I could qualify for one, right? That could be a very good sign that someone's trying to use your credit and that you've been a victim of identity theft. So if you get unfamiliar calls from unknown numbers or unknown creditors saying that you owe them money, it's a very suspicious activity and we need to get to the bottom of it. So as opposed to ignoring bills or collection calls just because you don't recognize the account or the company, call the creditor, be proactive, and get on the phone with them to report the fraud that might be happening on your account. Because if you don't know them, they're going to keep hounding you and it's going to cause some problems for you down the road. Best to be proactive, best to reach out to them, best to get it reported right away. The third sign is that you were denied for credit. Now, you might have been a little bit surprised if you've got a denial for a credit application and you never submitted it. That would be kind of shocking and disturbing at the same time, right? If you receive a denial letter in the mail, which is formally referred to as a notice of adverse action, it's because thankfully the Fair Credit Reporting Act requires lenders to send adverse action letters when the report is used for the basis of denying credit. So if you get one of those and you haven't applied for credit, it is a very strong suggestion that someone is attempting to game your identity. So here's what you can do. You can always check your credit reports, and in fact, after watching this video, if you haven't checked your credit reports in a while, please go check your credit reports and make sure there's nothing going on there. Other applications may have been submitted in your name and they might be working their way through the underwriting process. So think about placing fraud alerts on your credit reports if you really want to stop the fraud. For reference, you know, the day that I'm making this video right now, it's actually free to get a security freeze on all your accounts if you want, no matter where you live. On another note, the only caveat to a security freeze is that if you're planning to purchase a home or get refinancing or go purchase a car for that matter, you'll want to talk it over with the loan officer because it will impact the way that they get your credit pooled and get it verified. So it's something that you'll need to allow them access to so they can verify your credit and make sure that you get approved for what you are actually choosing to get approved for. If that's not your case and you want to go ahead and freeze it out, that's up to you. Make it happen if that's what you wish to do. The fourth sign is that you see unfamiliar credit inquiries and addresses. Now this can get a little bit scary too, right? Here's the thing. Credit reporting agencies are actually required to place a record on your credit reports each each time they share your credit information with a third party. This is called an inquiry. Well, now we know them in real life as just being people as a hard inquiry, and we know that if you keep doing this, it really hurts our credit score if it's done enough. And it takes like 2 years for these things to drop off. Why it takes 2 years, I don't know. It's bonkers that it takes so long for them to drop, but at the same time, we know them as hard inquiries, and we know that they can drop our score generally somewhere between like 3 and 5 points per inquiry. Now, if you're going along and you're just doing your thing, you go on your Credit Karma account, you go to freecreditreport.com, whatever, you're just monitoring your credit, being responsible with your finances, and then you start discovering all of these different inquiries, you need to be proactive because you might have a fraudster that's applying for credit in your name and using a different address. So here's what you do. If you see an unauthorized inquiry or address show up on your credit report, you want to make sure that you add a fraud alert or place a security freeze on all of your reports immediately and start contesting all of those credit inquiries and tip off their bureaus. Now, Credit Karma makes that pretty easy. You can actually file right from the platform any kind of disputes or ask for any resolutions or go through their massively informative content library to see what the best step is for you to take next. The fifth sign is that your credit report just bombed. I mean, completely tanked, like whoo-hoo. It just went down a lot and you weren't expecting it. Here's the thing, if you have great credit reports, you have great credit scores. So if you're monitoring your credit scores, which by the way, it's very helpful if you're doing once a month at a minimum, and you notice a sharp drop in your credit report, you need to find out why. There's a good chance that a derogatory comment has been placed onto your credit report for an unpaid bill. So it could have been something that a fraudster opened up, and now that it's going unpaid for several months, again, going back to the wisdom, checking it at least once a month, you'll catch these things earlier and be able to report them faster. Then what'll happen is it'll lead to a negative credit reporting and a lower score for you. That's not cool whenever fraudsters are out there doing that. So let's do everything that we can to put these fraudsters in check. So what you want to do is you want to get in the habit of reviewing not only your credit reports once a month, but learning how to read your credit reports in detail and understanding how they work. If you start seeing or you become suspect that there's something going on with your credit, then you want to make sure that you're notifying the credit agencies immediately. As a pro tip, you can visit usa.gov/identity theft to go ahead and report that. Now that website has a lot of wonderful information on it about what you can do, and it also provides other links to reporting agencies for you. It'll guide you through the steps of what you should do if you suspect identity theft. If that's your case right now that we're coming to the end of this video, please go check out your credit report, and if you suspect identity theft, report it immediately, please. Now that you know the 5 signs of identity theft, here's what I want you to do. Tell us what you're thinking about this episode in the comment section below, along with any of your other tips that you might have about other signs that we should be watching for to let us all know if we're being targeted by identity thief. It's not cool. Let's protect each other. We're always stronger together than we are alone. Let's band together and protect each other from these crazy fraudsters out there, all right? Now I'm going to go ahead and pop up my contact information if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, or if you need help finding a top agent where you live, please let me know. Always love to hear from you, always here to help. If you haven't already done so, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, please subscribe to this channel. Number 2, please like this video. And number 3, please share this video around with someone you know is going to be able to help, because I'm sure you're thinking of someone else right now that would love to know what are the signs of identity theft and where should they go if they suspect they're a victim of identity theft. Please share it with them. Thank you. In between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Thank you for watching today, team, and enjoy an amazing day.